What's up, guys? Rafe Realm here with SlamZoneSports here on my channel. Make sure to be rate, like, and subscribing to the channel. Make sure to check out SlamZoneSports as well. We're trying to get more and more people over to it. Now, I'm just going to go over AEW Dark this week. I'm new to doing this whole review thing. I watched it, and honestly, the matches go by so quickly. It's really quick, and it's taped. It's pretty much their version of NXT. It's supposed to show you enhancement talents that they're looking at potentially on Elevation and Dark. Elevation's kind of like their Monday Night Raw, which I wish was on TV, to be honest with you. Dark Elevation is pretty much they've taken talent to go against main talent. I wish they would kind of have titles on both of these shows, to be honest with you. Like, Dark, heavyweight belt, or Dark, Atlantic champion or something. And have like their own pay-per-views or something, because it just screams it. So Kenny does defeat Shino in quick fashion. It was a real quick match. It went back and forth with hand gestures and things like that. The typical Kenny Omega match. I don't need to explain that one. Action Andrade versus Infus Kirsch went to Andrade. Action Andrade is really a good piece of talent. Like, I get why Chris Jericho's high on him. The moves that he does, the things that he does off the rope is just a beautiful thing. So that went to him. Parker Bordeaux versus Gus Del. I don't know most of these people because I don't watch Dark often. Versus Vega. Really good match. Went the distance a little bit. I would have to give that to Parker there. Parker, I've seen before. Okay. So Parker, they've really have put a lot of emphasis into him, especially with his manager, especially I think he's still with Vari and all that. So he's, they're kind of building him up to go to the main roster. So, I mean, I could see that. There, Julia Hart defeats Sarah Seven. Julia Hart is the shit, and I don't know why we have her on Dark. She should be fighting for a TBS belt at this point. She's part of the House of Black. She should be winning something at this point. It really screams it. Jeff Jarrett and Saddam Singh versus Dean Alexander. Again, this was pretty much a squash match for Jeff Jarrett and Saddam Singh. Again, Dark is 50-50. Like Dark, you have your main talent mixed in with enhancement talent. I really think they should be making this into their NXT. They don't need to have main roster people over on Dark. They need to feature for instance, they need to feature talent. I get it. This is like their extra shows, but they got to start featuring more stuff. It was a squash match. Like, again. And then, after the match, Jarrett says he makes his mark wherever he goes, and Max Caster's found that out the hard way. So they're technically saying they're going to go after the Acclaim. They're going to go hard at the Acclaim until they get what they want, is the tag team belts, him and Jay Lethal on Dynamite or whatever. But first, they got to go through, after the Ass Boys get done what they need to do, FTR. So it's going to be a three-way at some point at Revolution or one of these big pay-per-views or big show pay-per-views coming up soon. Pretty Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth defeat the Jake, State, Park, Rick, and Sage Scott and Kip Sabian and Caleb Conley, guy who used to be on Impact Wrestling. Sorry, I butchered their names. This is how much I really cared. It wasn't that great. Again, Kip Sabian really needs to be on the main, he needs to be featured more. He's just not been featured enough, and it's becoming a gimmick sideshow with him and him and his wife on television. TBS Championship Eliminator, Jay Cargill versus champion versus Dream Girl Elite. And I guess Jay Cargill wins that again to go blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care for her win-loss record, to be honest with you. Ricky Starks defeats Cesar Bonani, whatever. I watched this one, and this was typical Ricky Starks match. Ricky Starks squashed him real quick. It was good back and forth, though. I will say this, Dark, honestly, will get a C for me. It's not the greatest in the world. I wish they would start doing more like NXT and have your enhancement talent here go against your enhancement talent to see what is the future of AEW. I get what they're trying to do, have main roster talent that are seasoned, teach the other wrestlers. But it's, to me, Dark has always been, this is why I don't review Dark. Dark has just never been something on my radar. I'll review it. I'll stomach it for you guys out there in the world. But again, Dark to me is just another, it's just a bunch of squash matches or storylines that don't matter. Like, they don't pencil into the main roster stuff. They don't accumulate to the main roster. Like the whole Matt Hardy thing and Ethan Page did not go into the main roster stuff, like Dynamite and Rampage. Like, Dark won't be taken serious to me, and Elevation won't be taken serious until Tony Khan starts writing for them instead of just having every week a show go on. I will review these shows. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I watch a lot of wrestling throughout the week. But as I said before, they got to do a lot more to fix these shows. You cannot have Jade Cargill just win matches to win matches here. Like, she just won matches to win matches. And I get they're featuring talent against what it would look like against their champions, but Cargill needs to be on Rampage here. And why in the high holy fuck are we having her, pardon my language, why are we having Jade Cargill that's supposed to be a Brock Lesnar, Goldberg-esque, beat people up, and do this stuff, and you just, it's just annoying me. TK, fix this. You should have Dark championships on Dark and Elevation, and you should have their own pay-per-views. You need to make it into your own thing and do a development talent. If this is the way you're going to go, it's going to fall flat. I'm just saying. Marina Shafir, you have butchered her so bad to the point I don't know if she can even come back from the butchering you've done. And where is Miro? Where the fuck is Miro? I'm going to say that every week. Where is Miro? Bring the guy back. I miss the Redeemer, Game Over. I miss the shit. Bring him back. I don't care for, you're bringing up new talent, but you have talent sitting on the side called Miro. I can't say this enough. You're just going to let Miro collect a check and then, for goddamn sakes, walk back into WWE and then go on podcasts and say, well, TK didn't do shit for me. Are we really doing this? Why is Miro not on Dark? Why is Miro not on Elevation? Why are we not having storylines built up for him? You have your king calling this guy out, and you don't start a feud. I don't give a shit about Wardlow. I don't give a shit about Wardlow. I will say this again. Wardlow was garbage garbage as a champion. Showed potentials of being good, but is garbage. He wasn't a good TNT champion. And if you put the belt back on him, I'm laughing my ass off here. Because he wasn't good now. He should be on Dark building his talent. He ain't good. He is Jay Cargill for the mid-card. Jay Cargill ain't good. Jay Cargill wasn't good to begin with. And I'm sorry that I'm ranting in a review, but it's the truth. If you're putting Action Andrade on Dark, he should be on fucking Rampage showing what his skill set is. If Chris Jericho's putting a lot of stock in him, he should be in the Appreciation Society. They should be building this guy's stock up and having him beat people to get to a TBS or TNT championship. I can't say that enough here. This is the downside of AEW right now. You're signing people when you have people on your roster that right now can bolster what you are doing as a company. I watch Dark and I'm sitting here just going, Dark could be something totally else and be really good at what it does. But the reason I give it a C because most of the matches are squash matches. So why I stopped watching Dark? Because every week Dark would have these great storylines that are not featured on main roster shit. I'm like, damn, that whole Matt Hardy thing could be on the main roster. Twist of Fate, going to Ethan Page. Maybe that's Matt Hardy, giving something to him, blah, blah, blah. But then it just doesn't relate to what, and then the people that actually watch Dynamite and all this stuff, they're so confused on what is what. Because TK doesn't write it right. That's how I feel about this shit. And you got people out there going, well, gee, Willikers Dark looking really good, but why? It does not, okay? It does not accumulate to what the main roster does. Pretty Peter Avalon, what are we doing with him? He's been on your roster for 3 years. Either release him or get rid of him. He's not been good. He wasn't good on the main roster. He's not good on Dark. You got Ryan Nemeth, the younger brother of I can't even remember. That's how much I really care. Of Dolph Ziggler, that should be on your main roster. I don't know who Serge Scott is or Jake St. Patrick. Kip Sabian, I know. Why is Kip Sabian not with Trent Seven? They should be a tag team right now. Trent Seven should be beating people up. Kip Sabian should have his own freaking faction. I'm just saying, with Penelope Ford at the helm, they could turn that into an El Fantasma thing on fucking SmackDown right now and make Penelope Ford the hottest act in the world, but they fail on that one too. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And Helico's another talent that was great in Lucha Underground. Why is he not being featured on the main television? Again, I want to see some changing from AEW. They said things are changing in 2023. Things better be changing here on Dark, and they better be coming with some titles, because I think Dark could be their version of NXT, and they can have good wrestling. They can have, seriously, I've said this about AEW. If they wanted to, they can have Ring of Honor. They can have AEW shows going on and have Dark on their streaming networks, and they can have pay-per-views for each one and make hand over fist. This is not a question. It's just Tony Khan has stretched himself kind of thin. And you see it in the writing. You see that on how they treat Dark and Elevation. Elevation could be their Monday Night Raw. Seriously, their Monday Night Raw. This could be their bloat that they put on from Dynamite and everything else, that some of us say that they should go 3 hours. I don't think Dynamite should go 3 hours. If they can't do Dark and Elevation properly, and they can't even get Ring of Honor on TV, and everybody's told me, oh, well, no. If you look at the deal, they're still searching for a TV deal for Ring of Honor. We don't know where it's going to be. We're going to find out at the beginning of the year. They brought back Honor Club so you can watch all the old tapes. Honestly, the Honor Club should be on the Max app when they get there. Seriously, for real. Sorry that I'm on a tangent about AEW today. I'm on fire because I watched AEW Dark, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad as a person. I want more. And Tony Khan can deliver more. See, Tony Khan was Booker of the Year 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And I think this whole CM Punk thing, to be honest with you, is just a whole ruse. He's going to be back at AEW. And then things are coming out about Kenny Omega, that how he's they're tacking on time so he doesn't go to WWE, and the Young Bucks, they're tacking on time, and they're gonna renew. This is just all just smokes and mirrors, man. At the end of the day, man, AEW Dark's got to get better, and that's a fact. And I just, as a wrestling fan, it just makes me go, ah. Jay Cargill should not be on your Dark shows. Kenny Omega should not be on your Dark shows. Or your Elevations. He should not be trying to put over talent or make talent look good. He should be on your Dynamite and your Rampage per week. Your Rampage should go up another hour. Seriously, go up another hour. Or go on before SmackDown and go on 2 hours and actually have great storylines, because it actually has been proven when Death from Dishonor or Final Battle went on, they did very well. They did a good draw, and then they passed the baton to WWE. That's how it should be done. I think they could do that with SmackDown versus them. And then, or put it on Thursdays. Put Rampage on Thursdays. On TBS. Do whatever you got to do. Because right now, when I watch Dark, and I'm sorry for I'm ranting or I'm on a tangent, But I tear it apart because this is where you could have a dark heavyweight belt, a dark Atlantic champion, a dark North American, whatever, cruiserweight, whatever. You can have whatever comes to mind, and you can have your enhancement talent and have storylines and whatnot and have a pay-per-view based around it. Call it AEW takes over the world or whatever. You can have it, Rampage the Universe, whatever. You can call it whatever. Instead of treating this as, well, we're just doing da-da-da. Kind of reminds me when TNA would just do things on Mondays. When they would do, they would be on a no-name channel, and they do little things on Monday, little skits and shit like that. That's not it, Chief. You got too much talent, Tony Khan. You should be doing the right things and putting people in place. This is not about a Ring of Honor or anything like that. This is more of, you need to do more to fix your product. Your product, you should have your champions fighting champions too. I'm going to have some of my coffee real quick. But you shouldn't have your champions fighting on a show that you really say it's just to perform your it's just to see what talent and enhance talent. That's all I really got to say here. Dark needs to get better. I enjoyed this Dark to an extent, but then some of it's squash. It's like squash, commercial, squash, Tony Schiavone talks, and screws up on things like a comedy bit, and then they do somewhat of storyline, and it's like it doesn't relate into the main roster, and no wonder why nobody watches Dark, because nobody gives a shit. That's why. Outside of maybe a couple of people, it's the same as some people say in the wrestling IWC, YWC, like, who watches Impact? Shit like that. It's the same principle here. Who watches Dark? Because Dark is, honestly, I would say Impact is above Dark and above Rampage right now, honestly, for the way they're booking their shows. But that's just me, because I like to be entertained. Anyway, this has been Ray Frelm here with Slam Zone Sports. Sorry on my channel if I was on a tangent, but when I see a circus on Dark, I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna moan and groan. Like Kenny Omega is gonna beat Shino anyway. Okay? Action Andrade just got a big push from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho put him over. Of course he's gonna win. Marina Shafir should be winning matches. She should be destroying people. A Ronda Rousey-esque character should be, and better. I feel she's better than Ronda Rousey. Get her some mic skills, she'll be better. Put her in the ring, give her some more moves, she'll be better. And Helico, why the freak are we having him on Dark? Why is Jeff Jarrett on Dark? Why is Julia Hart on Dark? This is where they should be performing with their enhancement talent and putting people over that see who's good and what's not, to see if the fans will like it. This is why they need to get off of YouTube. That's personally my opinion. Anyway, this has been Ray Frelm giving you a review of Dark. It was a C average this week. Sorry about my tangent. I ain't sorry, but I just need to get that off my chest. It's just like I sit here and the matches are going by bang, 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 boom, 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 boom. And it's like, and then you see squash matches and it's like, well, isn't Dark supposed to be this exciting about the young talent? Why are we having champions here? Why are we having main roster guys here when they shouldn't be here? Dark should not be. It shouldn't be. And this is what I prefer. This is why I like NXT for. This is why NXT is better. Why Triple H puts a better product on. TK needs to get better. And this is one of the things he does need to get better. Anyway, I'll talk to you. Guys, my opinion's my opinion. Like I said, yours is yours. At the end of the day, I'm just giving my perspective. I will keep reviewing AEW Dark. If I see more and more, I will review more and more if it's good. Right now, Dark ain't good. Dark is not that great. Dark just looks like a pre-taped show that was just put together as a circus, and that's the way it goes. I'll be reviewing next week's show and stuff like that. So anyway, that's been Rafe. I'll see you guys later. Peace.